I'm so excited to be on. Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy you found time, and
Yes.
God bless you for all you do. There
Yeah.
are more people who love you than don't. And I want to say a quote I found yesterday from Gone with the Wind. If someone doesn't agree with what we are saying, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, it's been a rough week because we've been kind of the messengers of the truth and facts and censored and all of that. And but I think often I say, I know you do, I know the people that we're in a group with, these amazing people that are really working, doing God's work, in my opinion.
Yes.
But we've always said we can't predict the timing or how it's going to unfold. We are in war. It's a silent war. It's a art of war. It's a silent war, but it's a war nonetheless. And we believe in the outcome, and we believe in God, and we believe that the plan is unfolding as it's supposed to. And so it's always hard when you come from a place of good. And like you said, what I really do is I research. So while everyone talks about it, I try to dig in and find the facts. And that's something I really enjoy. But it takes hours and it's exhausting sometimes. And then you go on, and then you're going to get, especially this week, from people that liked me or my new show is good. And they feel like I disappointed them. I let them down. And then they lash out. And it's hard to, I thought I was strong. I thought I had a thicker skin, and I'm going to have to get one, because I'm not giving up this battle towards, the true, I think, new American Revolution 2.0 that's going to, I believe, make the world as it should be and as it was meant to be. And I want to be ready for it. And I want to be there with you guys and you, and marching along and keeping people up to date. And I don't want to be intimidated by it. But at first I did feel like I was being bullied in 4th grade. I just was like, why is it my fault? And then, like, you're a fraud, you're this, there. Well, how can somebody be a fraud that's just telling you what they're researching and saying research for yourself? Which is the whole thing with Q, is it's never, there's no group, there's no meeting, there's no cult, there's no people. It's a internet. And if you're a researcher and you're interested, it gives you things to look into. Well, how much I have learned from my own research from having those crumbs. So it's like, I'm so glad that you mentioned this, because I was so devastated. And I said, why are these people attacking me? I'm used to the anti-Semitic stuff and all of that. It's just, it is what it is. Those aren't really the people that bother me. What was upsetting me were people that were saying that, like, we or me and Charlie or whatever were frauds. And I'm two of the most genuine people, but I got a lot of attacks about both of us, to me. And I just my heart broke because that's not the goal. And it was amazing.
I appreciate you so much. And I want to tell you, from those who subscribe to my channel and those who follow me, because on Instagram I do lives often. And when I mentioned that I have booked interview with you, they were so happy to hear that. So, I say, it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, in your heart, you know that you're doing the right thing. And people are very quick to judge, because they still believe in what they see. They don't see beyond. And on the top of that, they don't do their own research. And like I say, you cannot follow blindly anyone. Doesn't matter if it's Mel or Charlie. I don't agree with everything Charlie says. I respect and I love Charlie dearly. I care for him. But sometimes he misses things, and he say things that are not exactly as they are. But the majority of things he says and what he's talking about and the core of the message is true and is good. And that is my opinion about it. So I'm really grateful for you that you're here today.
Thank you. I'm really grateful for you. And like you said, I feel the same. And I also, I don't want to go on with just anyone or have anyone on my show. I really need to be around people like you and a couple of the other people that we do shows with, because what we have is a support system also. Because I know a lot of us felt this week, it's people's own disappointment projecting on us, where, for me, it took me 24 hours, and then I got up, I shook it off, I said, there's still work to be done. We're not, anyone that's right now sitting down and thinking, okay, well, we'll just have to deal with this for 4 years knows nothing about history.
No, nothing to deal. Just enjoy the show, for God's sake. Enjoy
They
the
know
show,
nothing
people.
about history or anything. If they want to keep, this is impossible. I mean, I'm 100% confident that the military is in control, and I feel really good about that, because Obama and his crew, they did a very nice job at basically demonizing the military and the cops and all that. But I'm very grateful for the military right now, because I know behind the scenes that they're doing the heavy lifting right now, while Donald Trump has to take a back seat. And that's how I feel, because I was just in DC and I met some of these.
Mel, can I ask you, because this is exactly where I wanted to start. This is perfect alignment right here, just perfect. Okay. Did Donald ever concede? He didn't.
No.
That's okay. So this is like, people who's watching.
He never conceded.
Find this where he conceded and make a video, and then I will watch.
Didn't happen. He's not conceding because he knows he won. This is all a farce. What really happened that people don't. So here's the thing. Once the military takes over, you don't need to tell Congress or Senate or, God forbid, the media anything. Military intelligence is a whole different thing. So what happened was, from my sources, but I got confirmation pretty much, that DNI Radcliffe did so Trump did the executive order in 2018 for foreign interference, because they knew that they cheated in 2016. Correct. But not Trump, the other side. So then they did the report in 2018. Now, the guy who wrote the report that led to the executive order is currently our Attorney General, Rosen. So he came in right in time for this battle, which is very interesting too, part of the chess match. So then the executive order, after Radcliffe gave his report, basically 6 foreign countries and 20 US people were involved in the entire thing, which was planned, honestly, right when Trump won the first time. Because the cabal, the Davos folk, they could not, this was getting in the way of, honestly, Agenda 21, which is now Agenda 30, which is the one world order goal, which has always been the goal of the UN. And so once Trump handed that over to the Pentagon with proven evidence and everything, I believe that something was triggered called DEFCON. And then we went to a continuity of government, which is when FEMA actually is now taking over our country, because that FEMA is the one branch with the military that in an emergency, and don't forget, they never ended the war on terror. So Trump has been a war president the entire time. And if he was this tyrant, this despot, this whatever they say, that's crazy, he could have done anything he wanted this whole time. And then put on top of it the corona emergency. So once Trump handed it over to Chris Miller and them, and they had proof that this was cheated, that they were cheated, then boom, FEMA comes in and takes over. Next thing you know, National Guard is all over DC. This is not to protect them. This is for us. The National Guard told me to my face that they were there because they work for we the people and the Constitution, not for them. Yeah. And then what happened was they I don't know if you followed the back channel. I did. I'm a huge fan of the military. And so there were markers on the channel, which was 11.3, 11.4, 11.6, and 11.7.
Correct. Yes, exactly.
And everyone thought that they were dates. Like I said earlier, people got upset last week because what they hoped was going to happen didn't happen, or maybe it did. We don't know. But those aren't dates. Those are actually codes in the Department of Defense Law of War, Article 11, military occupation of a foreign terrorist or foreign or domestic terrorist and insurrection. So that's where we are right now. And in my notes, apparently, once this is triggered, the military they can do anything they need to do to eliminate the insurgency and to arrest the perpetrators without going through Congress or Senate or even Donald Trump. And when he did this, he had to go. So he didn't concede. He had to go. That's part of the Insurrection Act, is is calling it and handing over control to the military. And they were ready for it. They've been waiting for it for 4 years. So that's why there was a lot of moving of parts in the Pentagon in the last month, because they were getting ready. So that's really, I believe, where we are right now.
So Mel, I want to ask you this, because I'm like having this image painted when you talk and you're like confirming everything exactly how I feel. And I don't know all of this. I mean, not like, the research, but I know the key points. And this is exactly what you're saying. So here is my question to you. As we know that Washington, the District of Columbia, this particular area, right?
Right.
The foreign entity. It's like Vatican or City of London, okay?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So this is like not really US, but within US. Let's just talk to those people who have like completely no clue. Let's break it down.
Okay, I'll explain what happened.
And then, I mean, no, just the question is this. So this is the foreign entity on the property of United States in a way, okay?
Right.
So I was thinking this morning, the military, besides that this is all movie, truly is a production, and the castle entertainment we're gonna touch later on. Okay. Probably you know a lot about it because you live in Hollywood for so long, so you know the production, castle people. Okay, so we have this, and now we have this military there. And I was thinking maybe they are there because the tribunals will be taking place there. That's why they are there, because they just came to me this morning. I was thinking maybe they are just on hold and more troops is coming. They say until the end of January, and then they say September, because it will be like a Nuremberg after the Second World War. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this does make sense. They're gonna clean the whole swamp area. Because they size the assets and all of this. A lot of those people are fake. They are not even alive anymore. A lot of them, what makes a good movie? Great actors. So we have all of this, and I'm like, this makes sense. So tell me if I am to some point right about this.
Well, here's what I thought. So I was down there, and we walked around, looked around. They're building something, a big FEMA camp. It's funny. It's like if you know the story of Esther and Haman, and how like he built the gallows to hang the Jews, and then when the king found out what was really going on, Haman was hung. And so what I saw there was they're building some kind of holding camp or something. And then, they made the fences, but the barbed wire is to keep people in. It's not for people to come from outside. It's keep people from going outside. Now, those two things alone make you say it looks more like a prison than it does a new building. And there's a ton of construction right now, right there too, which makes me think that there's going to be some sort of demolition around that area. It's very satanic. We don't have to get into that now.
Yes.
But and like I said, when me and a friend were talking to about 4 National Guard, they were assuring us that they were not there to protect Congress and Senate and Joe Biden. They were there to protect the Constitution and to protect the people. And, they seemed very cool. These weren't guys that seemed like they were going into war. These seemed like guys that had a mission that they were behind. And if you noticed when in some of the pictures, when Joe Biden drove by, all the soldiers turned their backs.
Turned backs. Yes.
And don't forget, they also stole the soldiers' votes, which none of them are happy about. So basically, I think that you're spot on. At least in my opinion, I think that that's probably true. And also that it will at least be a center for processing. There's rumors out there that people were handed documents, indictments and stuff, but I still don't, seriously, I'm still not believing that was real, what we saw. I think it was a production.
Yes.
And I did notice that the people that were all featured are all people who were on Epstein Island on the satanic ritual weekends. So I was thinking, is this putting at first I thought, oh, like Satan's doing his show, like, look at all my people. And then I thought maybe this is the white hats pointing out who to be looking at, that's what I thought.
100%. they did Hunger Games. They ritually reverse. No, because I mean they
Crazy,
put
right?
them. No, but they exactly, Mel. They put them in the same outfits like Hunger Games. Exactly the same color outfits, everything. This is not just random or by mistake. This is
Right.
intentional production. But what is really my question now is this. So who is truly in charge? Chris Miller is in charge of.
Yeah, I think it's three people. I think it's this guy from, I think his name's Gaitner. He was running FEMA. Trump took Chris Miller out, not Chris Miller, the other guy, Chad Hayes, I think, was running now Department of Homeland Security. He stepped down. This guy from FEMA stepped up. So that guy, DHS, is running it. Chris Miller is running the military side. And then they're bringing in this lawyer that Nancy Pelosi and everyone has tried to stop, last name Ellis, who's going to be the counsel involved with this.
Okay.
And then there is military on the next level that's also going to be involved. But right now, those are the three people that I believe are running it. But they are going to, because now we're in this continuity of government, which is a shadow government out of the Pentagon. A lot of people believe that General Flynn is now in charge, which would be great. I'd love to hear from him because I need some Flynn magic because he's really kept me going. But a lot of people think that General Flynn is really the one running the show because he should have been the whole time. I mean, the whole 4 years was about hiding their crimes and not letting these trials go forward. So, that's what we're dealing with now is a lot of people who are what they're doing to their own constituents, the people that did vote for Joe Biden. And my thinking is they voted against Trump because they don't like the stories or how Trump is. If you looked at the guy's actions, there's not much not to like. You don't like him or you believe the lies about misogyny or racism. I mean, he's not, none of that stuff. It's all phony. But I look at it and I think what they're doing to them, because imagine, like, we've been hoping for things to happen, but we have faith, we're believing, we're going forward. But these people are going to have the rug pulled out. And my biggest thing this whole time was, God, the psychological and emotional and mental damage of all of this destruction and all of this deception is really, really something else. Really something.
It is, but I also, and I think we agree on this too, Mel. I feel that at this point, because of the speed of those executive orders that are being signed, that speed is really crucial in this process because this is truly highlighting a different side of the rubber man.
Right.
that many of those who actually, there were some who voted for rubber man. Now they can see that, oh my gosh, this truly is like crazy, no? Isn't it crazy?
Right. Well, I mean, it's totalitarianism. It's communist China. Communist China went out there and made a statement that they won the election. I mean, this is real. And, it's the same people that are doing that. But the truth is, like like we were saying, and I agree with this, that by the time the next level, the plan happens, let's say, in honesty, 80 million people voted for Trump. By the time the next level happens, we're going to have 20 more million people who are like, please come back. The whole next phase is going to be about love, gratitude, the Great Awakening. But I always knew, and I hated every minute of it, but I always knew, and in my research and in my reading and on the board, that his first term, we were not going to see justice. His first term was about what they were doing behind the scenes and with the underlings. And I also believe that they were well aware that the election was a sting. I believe that they knew it was going to happen and they let it happen because they had to commit the crime. And then also, a lot of people were pissed because Pence didn't stop it, but Pence couldn't because that now all of those people, because we're in wartime and in a national emergency, they committed high treason by voting for a fake election. Yeah. So it's a whole nother level of crime because we're in a wartime. So the betrayal of our government towards we the people is on a different level of
yes.
Yeah, so.
Yes, no, everything you're saying, absolutely I agree. And I think what it is at this point is actually the latest crimes will be the focus, which will pull the freaking string.
Yeah.
And it will bring everything from the past.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
so that will be, this is now we're gonna have this event of impeachment, the 25th amendment, which is not fit to be president. And like Trump said, be careful what you wish for, because they're gonna accuse him of this. Now this will be turned around.
Yep.
Towards
Like
the
everything.
rubber man. What a movie, what a movie. And now during this process and this whole Scotus Gate and all the Supreme Courts, that's another topic. This is another hole. So many holes to jump in. Everything will be literally coming out like there is the Pandora box. Pandora box will open. Literally.
I agree.
So now, Mel, this whole shenanigans will start. I have like old school calendar here. Sometimes people like, who she's looking at the old school calendar people.
I love the old school calendar. I like everything old school.
Have interviews written there. Okay.
Oh, that's great.
So February, when they are returning, February 8 or something. So around 8 or 6, they're gonna start the show will like kick in, and we're gonna have impeachment, and it will go on. And I think around the 21st, I have from my own research, 21st of February will be major shift in events. Mel, so here is my question. Don't you think this is so beautifully strategically planned? All those leaks that are coming, all of a sudden Hunter's voice is out there.
What was that? Wasn't that weird?
I mean, hey, like this is literally if they would be not in control, none of this would be taking place. None of this. Zero. Null in German. Like
I agree 100%. I agree. Also, how about when Hunter was walking down the stairs and they give him a standing ovation, and I'm thinking, oh my God, because I've seen even worse stuff than most people have from the Hunter laptop, because my friend got is a journalist and got a hard drive. I'll tell you right now, like that they were clapping. I was like, what is how is he even? He's not free. The guy that did the stuff on this laptop is not a free man. That I'm telling you right now. Whether they let him out to do the show or that wasn't him, that he is not a free man, Hunter Biden. There's no chance. And but what's crazy about America, if you're not seeking it out and you're still watching CNN or MSNBC, and I'm in New York City, which is you wouldn't believe with what's happened here that people are still sheeple. They're still brainwashed here. It's nuts. But they don't believe that the Hunter Biden laptop exists. They don't believe that Joe Biden is compromised so much by the CCP.
Okay, and this is, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this
No, that's what
I wanted to ask you this. This is one of the things, like for the longest time, I have to talk to Mel, because I know you're not probably born in New York. You're like born in Florida, I think I heard one day.
Well, I was born in Philadelphia, but my whole family lives in Florida. Yeah, no, I'm in New York.
Okay, because I feel the New Yorker in you, and I used to live in New York for 1 year, and I was actually, in that time, my dream was, I used to work for like high-end fashion designers like Chanel, Dior. I was Dior manager in Saks Fifth Avenue, okay?
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, nice. No, but here is the story. I moved there because I wanted to be humanitarian. And guess what? To me, humanitarian was equal United Nations. Then I thought United Nations equals humanitarian. I'm telling you, Mel, I'm telling you.
That's what they set it up to look like.
I'm telling you. And I was like, I'm going to help those kids in Rwanda who are having a gun, being 9 years old and like going to the war. And I was like, this is crazy, crazy. How can I help? So now I'm like, I have to talk to Mel. She lives in New York. She lives where I used to live, not long, but still. She is no BS. She's straight to the point. And you have this attitude of New Yorker. And I know New Yorkers are like this. They are resilient. They are no BS. And they see things. So how they cannot see now?
It's amazing. You know, I moved here. I went to undergrad and grad school and at NYU. So my whole dream, my whole life was to move to New York, and I moved here at 17. And I really didn't, you know, when you go to NYU, you don't really go to college. So I was living as a child, basically a 17-year-old, like a Sex in the City, whatever. But over time, I saw, like in the 90s, it was one thing. But over time, I saw more and more. Now, what you're talking about with the philanthropy and the charities and all of this stuff
Yeah.
under the guise of being humanitarians and all of that. Well, a lot of that is when you get to it, I've been investigating and working on something about this Thrive New York, which is this $850 million thing that de Blasio and his wife put together for the homeless and mentally ill. Well, all the money disappeared and none of it went to the homeless or mentally ill. And when I was younger and I was getting invited to this stuff, I started to realize that the money wasn't getting to the people that they were saying they were going to help. And then for me, when I started really looking into the UN and stuff, I started to realize that it was upside down, that they're saying that it's philanthropy. They're saying it's for the good of the world. They're saying all this. Well, the UN, its only purpose ever was, from the Rockefellers and all of them, was to usher in the New World Order and take over America, and for that to be their government here. But as for New York, yes, I'm surprised at how many completely ignorant, brilliant people live here. I mean, we go out and we talk to some people regularly, and they just cannot get over it. They really their hatred for Trump, a man who's done so much for New York. I had a friend say to me yesterday, well, when Trump abandoned New York, I'm like, Trump didn't abandon New York. It was they put in not only de Blasio and Cuomo, but this AG who's going after his family, who's going after him, what they've done to him. Then de Blasio's, and all over a fake riot. You can't incite a riot that was planned. But like last week, de Blasio's kicking Trump out of New York. Trump built New York. Okay, New York was a dangerous crap hole in the 70s. Yes. Trump helped build New York with, I know a couple big builders that he's worked with, and also he redid the whole beautiful skating rink on his own dollar. You know, he's done so much for this city. And no, I don't know what the hatred, where it came from. Honestly, before he was president, he was beloved. If you walk down the street, people would be like, hey, Donald, you know, da, da, da. And, you know, I passed him on the street when I'm going to work. I used to work for this big lawyer. I was writing stuff for him, and they were friends, and I would see him sometimes. And it was like everyone treated Trump like they were so excited or wanted his autograph or whatever. And then the minute he started running, I mean, just, and it's really been amazing.
The media, I think, Mel, this is really the media. But how you feel how this will go with, for example, UN, what they're gonna do, because this will be all.
I think the UN has to go.
Yeah.
What I did learn about the UN, and I think I did a story about it, but we can get into it because it's my biggest issue, is what I've learned about the UN is that the UN is based on this woman, Alice Bailey's philosophy. And she is a Luciferian Satanist. And her 10 rules for the New World Order are actually in a meditation room at the UN as the UN's philosophy. It's called the Lucis Trust, but it was originally called the Lucifer Trust. And it's basically the philosophy and religion of the UN. The UN does not believe, the UN is anything but God-based. It's the opposite. Just like the Rockefellers and the bloodlines, they are all the opposite. They do not believe in God, or they believe in God. They just believe that Lucifer is above God. And so basically when I started learning about the Lucis Trust, and then, you know, I couldn't believe it. And then I live literally 5 blocks from the UN. So then I started like talking to people. Do they know about it? No. And then the next level of the Lucis Trust and the UN would be the Council of Foreign Relations, which has so much power, which is really running all of this, which is really running the media. They have so much power. And then you jump to, you know, the next thing, the Rockefeller Foundation. Then you jump to the Carnegie Foundation. When I tell you that these are all the same people, we're talking about like literally maybe 3,000 people, the same people that go to Bilderberg and Davos and all of that. They are all part of this. And if anyone has any doubts, there is a satanic meditation room.
I've been to this room, Mel. I remember exactly. And there's like this black box.
Let me go back. Right.
It's like the altar. I remember still, Mel.
Right.
Because there was an organization I was trying to help to fundraise money because of those Chanel clients I had.
Right, of course, yeah.
Okay, you know, so they were like, oh, she has great clientele. and great client book. We're gonna find. So I was trying to help, and I was actually in UN. Not I didn't work for UN, but I knew the people within this organization. And I
Right.
remember when I was there, and I'm like, oh, meditation room, and I went there,
I'm
and I was
so
like, this is
glad you went.
weird, so freaking weird, like a black box, like an altar or something.
That is what it is. It's a black box altar, and a special stone. No, that is a room to pray to Satan in the UN. And it's set up and it has the pyramid. And if you see, there's, you know how they talk about the 1,000 points of light? Well, they have the thing at the top is open to let in the 1,000 points of light that they believe is the Enlightenment, i.e. the Illuminati. And that's who built the UN, and that's what the UN is. And as you and I have learned over the years, and we'll do it on a different show, the UN is actually, if you look at what they've done, they've been scandal after scandal. Every country that they go into is they pillage, but they also they traffic the people and the children. And if you didn't notice yesterday, Joe Biden put the head of the UN refugee program up as the DHS secretary for America. If you think the government
showing, aren't they? They are showing every single thing to the people right now. So like the attention, maybe a lot of people have no clue. So they are like, what is this? And they go on UN and they do some research and it's like, oh, really? Is it? And I am so convinced. I am so sure it's all under control. There's no question.
I agree 100%. And like you're saying, it's the rapid fire of what they're doing. This is about power, but even more than power, it's about them being guilty of crimes that they do not want to come out. So everything, especially with the media, because a lot of that media is tied up in the Jeffrey Epstein case, which people don't know anything about. Basically, they know what Netflix, the basically the entertainment arm of the Democratic Party, has told them. And you know, this all connects back. But I think the UN and all of their cronies need to go. Along with, you know, the UN's aligned with the Vatican, the City of London, and DC. The UN's basically their one world order government headquarters. But now, because the American people are kind of onto them, now the CCP is where George Soros and Gates and the Good Club and all these people, Rockefellers, everyone, that now they're looking at the CCP as being the headquarters, where get rid of the UN. Let me tell you something. This UN has been nothing but a nightmare. And you know, oh, that's another thing. I think you're totally right that they're exposing it as it goes for like the people that still believe in Biden and all that, and they have to be like, what? Because now they're going to refund the World Health Organization, and again the UN, and then Fauci's coming back. He failed. He failed, and then it's just like that, and then the other thing about the UN now is when I was doing research on one thing. The UN, most of the most important agencies at the UN, let's talk nuclear, aerospace, education, are being run by Chinese nationals. Chinese nationals have no loyalty to anyone but the Communist Party of China. They shouldn't even be in the UN, because in the UN, you're supposed to make an oath that for the good of the world, you're going to put the UN ahead of your country in terms of, because it's all been about one world order. But yeah, no, that meditation room, once you see that, you can't look back. And then once you see how much damage they've done and they're peacekeepers, because my belief is that these kooks that want to defund the police want the UN peacekeepers to take over.
But it's not gonna happen. That's not gonna
no
happen.
way.
No way, Jose. I just wonder if they're gonna bring this whole building down, or
I hope so.
Make a museum. I think they should. I think some buildings should be bye-bye, because the energy, and they have to like totally perform some spiritual healing.
Absolutely. That's why I think
prayers and I don't know, like a lot of work, because the frequency of the land, and because the walls remember. This is the thing, like literally the buildings hold the energy and they remember the events. So, okay.
Also, they say that there's and we can get into it another time, but there's a lot of nefarious stuff underneath the UN, and Rockefeller built it purposely on a
river, on a river.
Right. And also under there it was like a slaughterhouse under there then, and like, you know, which makes sense for them. But I have a feeling that a lot of serious ritual stuff is going on there too. Like I think DC, like I definitely think DC is going to be bulldozed. But there's a lot of nefarious stuff apparently under the UN, and we don't know what that is yet, but I have a feeling it's connected to all the stuff we've been learning.
Okay, Mel. So
You're great.
no, it's like I'm trying to like dance on the eggshells because you know how it is nowadays. Nowadays,
Oh no.
it will change soon. Like I'm not concerned. I'm just like all good. Keep on going.
I
One
know.
foot
I
at the
know.
front of another. It's fine.
Yeah. And it's like if one thing goes down, you just pop up somewhere else. If one thing goes down, we can't let them silence us because the fact that they want to silence us tells you everything you need to know. Because we're coming from a place of good and God and country and love and peace and wanting the truth and justice. And why would you silence people like that unless you don't want
But
their.
then you know what I also wonder, Mel, if they are doing this to people because okay, so either those who are still able to do it don't fully grasp what's happening, or they are. Is this all whiteheads? Because if you really if you dive into it, like, okay, so who is doing this? Who is censoring now? It makes you.
Right. No, I've been thinking that, like, it's so funny. We do think a lot. I've been saying lately that it seems possible that the we're being censored to open up people's eyes because the extent to which is happening and who it's happening to.
That's,
And you know as well as I know that the rest of the world leaders flipped out that that a private tech company that also has financing from the CIA, by the way, could shut down our president on all platforms at one time in a coordinated act,
Mhm.
and then silence the people. This is Germany, 1938, all over again.
Mhm.
And people around the world might see my country as being brainwashed and gaslit. But people in other countries that have lived through this, including Poland, especially
Exactly. I was born in communism, Mel.
right, especially Poland came out strong against this, and Russia, because they're saying this is the beginning of the end, silencing dissenting voices. And like we talked about before, they've chosen to say that it's something's hate speech because they hate the speech. It's not
Yeah,
hate
like
speech.
they hated Jesus because of
Right.
his speech.
Exactly. Exactly. I took some solace the other day in being like, you know what, no matter how bad it is for me, it was way worse for Jesus.
No, I mean, honestly, and I'm
Well, the
like trying to be
Siamese message.
funny, but
Yeah.
the message, what was the threat? He was all loving and gentle and
Right.
forgiving. So what was the threat? The message was the threat.
Right. Well, that yeah, it's very well documented. He was a threat to Rome and to very high level people because he was. They wanted people to fear God, right? And that's my opinion that it was about. Don't tell the people that if you repent and you change your ways and you truly in your heart feel remorse and regret and make the move and ask for forgiveness, that God will forgive you. Well, this was bad for their plan because their plan was no, you mess up, you're done. You know, and also in the Torah is a lot like that too. But Jesus came along, and I read the whole Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, last
By the
2 years.
way, you know what, Mel, can I tell you? I cannot wait when those documents from Vatican will eventually come
I
out,
know.
those sacred books, because this
I
will
know.
be so fascinating. All those powers that we have as a human being, even to
Right. I know.
meditate or to all of this, we are so empowered. We are
I
so
know.
empowered. And all of this was freaking stored in Vatican,
Hidden.
like all those
Hidden.
books.
Hidden. And then also the Ark of the Covenant is supposedly in Ethiopia, and it's been moved, and people don't really know where it is. So all of this stuff, I believe, is already. I can't wait either. I'm so excited to like dig into this stuff. But you know, at the end of the day, this has all been, you know, anything having to do with God or love or peace is against their goals. You know, it's like they've convinced the world that the UN and these people are the good people by saying that it's for sustainability or for climate change. You know, the climate change was the first depopulation thing, and that didn't work. So then they and Rockefeller Foundation did the Project Lockstep 2010, which then brought in the pandemic. The pandemic was planned, and it was because climate change wasn't an immediate enough threat They were using that to depopulate, to go around the world, all this stuff, but it wasn't working. So what they did was they went to the next level and made people fear death. So
Yeah.
now with COVID and everything, they've manipulated the fear of death, imminent death from a cold, mind you, a bad cold, but and they've used that on the people. And, you know, as we're watching this unfold, again, like you're saying, so the WHO yesterday says the PCR test is fake, as we've known all along.
They are
Then,
showing. Yep.
yeah, then what happens is CNN takes down their death ticker. And then what happens is we find out that, you know, also he's putting back in Fauci and the who were responsible for this. But also on top of that, now we know that the patent for both the PCR test and SARS is owned by the the Rothschild family. And then the next level of that is the death rate in America this year with the pandemic is no different than last year or 2018 or 2017. So now people have to kind of be like,
exactly. Don't you think so? Because they're really making those who were so unaware, they're making like, this is kind of crazy.
Right. That's why I say, I think the brilliance is that by the time this is all revealed, the country will be like, come in, Trump, please.
Yeah. You know what it just came to me, Mel? It's like you have those products and it says shake before you use.
Yeah.
They are shaking before you use.
Right. Somebody else said that and said something. That's a good one. That's perfect. Somebody said something about the snow globe. How you see the snow globe and it would all come down different. Yeah. I mean, that's what's going on. And, you know, it's to fear. I was on that Q&A this morning and a lot of people are scared. And I'm like, there's nothing to fear.
No. Because I tell you,
the scary part is over.
No fear. And this is the thing they want to... Because now, I mean, honestly, I see humor in this. I'm sorry, everyone.
So do I. I laugh all the time about it because you take a step back and you're like, it can't. I'll just look around and I'll be like, come on, it's gone too far. Are you kidding me? He moved Winston Churchill's bust out of the Oval Office.
Oh, he did?
And replaced it with Cesar Chavez.
What?
Yesterday in the White House, in the Oval Office. Of course, there's cars behind the Oval Office windows, so who knows where that is. But yeah, no, he took it, who fought the Nazis against communism and helped save Europe. He took his bust out and put in a Latino labor organizer bust. What's going on? And then he decides it's going to be the ambassador to Israel, Gaza, and Palestine. What? Palestine's run by Hamas. What are you talking about?
But you know what? I will share this with you because you really will understand what I want to express here. I said this on my Instagram on live recently because I was always like, you know, we all have psychic abilities, but I receive a lot of downloads lately, Mel, a lot.
Right.
I was on the beach and I look at the sky and I sit down and it just came to me 2 days ago, Mel. I have to tell you, this is so, I mean, it just came now too. So I was I knew it's a movie, but I was trying to understand which reality really is at this point happening, okay? Like, what is it? And it came to me. So here is the thing. I see this. I want to share this with you. So I see this way now. I received that. What they are doing with this whole presentation for majority of people, even those who are absolutely hardworking, devoted, loyal citizens, patriots, who simply have no clue what we are talking about as far as movie part, but they just went voting, okay? Those are loving, simple-minded people, good-hearted people. That's one group. What they are doing, they are presenting in images now for the people to catch up with events that already took place.
Right, I agree.
Because they cannot say, okay, here is the testimony, here is the recording, this one bye-bye, this one this one that, because people would be like, wait, what?
Right.
And they would flip it. They would flip like crazy.
Right.
So now
that's also why they had to remove Trump, because it would have all been like Trump's getting revenge. You know, that's why it's like Trump had to go. Did he concede? No, because he won. but he had to go for now. And as we know, that he will, that the next phase will be the actual republic of the
Correct.
United
And
States.
March 4th, I feel, do you feel March 4th?
I hear it from people. I hear it from a lot of people. And if you followed the back channel, they said done in 30. And that was kind of from the 6th. And then the other thing is all the stuff that they did in that last week and the impeachment and everything, they do. A friend of mine has really good intel that when the White Hats went in and infiltrated Antifa in the White House, they have plenty of evidence that when they took the laptops, it's Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell knew about that 3 days before.
But that's, oh my gosh, you just said this, Mel. I woke up one morning and I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. I literally received this. I woke up in the
I believe
morning,
you. I believe it.
And I felt like God's spirit told me those laptops were, and like, I just want to express it, not insignificant, but what I want to say, like, they already knew everything much prior. So this was really for the people, again, to catch up, like, oh, look, now we have this. Oh, look, this is like collapsing time in a way.
Right.
So tell me about, now we're going to have impeachment, which actually will do incredible, it will reverse everything.
Right.
Because it will be turned around against the one who is trying to impeach.
Yep.
And all the evidence will come out. I mean, enough evidence will come out. And now when we will be watching those tribunals, Mel, some of those tribunals will be current and some of them will be already done.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the tribunals for John McCain and H.W. Bush were done before Bush died. So, and before McCain died. And that's the other thing people need to know. I think a military tribunal can be one day. Military tribunals aren't big court cases.
Okay, so tell me, I don't know this. Tell me how it is.
Yeah.
Like,
So
what do you
military
mean?
tribunals can be, by the time you're taken to a military tribunal, they have you cold. They have you. You don't have habeas corpus. These people are going to be considered enemy combatants. They lost their privileges to be defended. Okay. So what's going to happen is that in what I researched and what I believe, a military tribunal is literally just the presenting of evidence to a judge in a military court. Like, yeah, it's not back and forth. They're not writing things that takes 6 months, 8 months. It can be done in 24 hours. So when people are thinking, oh, the military tribunals will take forever. No, they don't. It's a totally different system. And these people, as we remember from the Kavanaugh confirmation hearing with Lindsey Graham, he made it very clear several times that people that commit crimes against America with the help of foreign leaders can be considered enemy combatants. And that's what's going to happen. So a military tribunal, we're not talking about years of jury trials. This is not that. Yeah, it's one guy with his attorney, two military attorneys who are already down there working, and then one judge.
Oh my God, Mel, this is happening for real. It's just a matter of time. So, okay, let me ask you your thoughts on this, because Charlie was talking about it yesterday. It's so exciting. Now, what I think, because when he said it yesterday, Charlie, I was like, this really makes sense now. So Donald, he's brilliant. He's literally using the movie now so the rubber man is gonna do so much harm to the economy that he will literally smash the economy. So then Donald comes.
Right.
The new financial system.
Right.
Standard. I mean, don't you think?
I know, it's so crazy. And also, the corporation of the United States of America is bankrupt and defunct. So everything that he's doing right now, he has no money. There's no money. Okay, there's no money. And when Mnuchin during what took over control of the Fed into the Treasury during the national emergency, was the first time ever that they could look in the books of the Fed. The Fed also is a Rothschild bank, the business of the Bank of International Settlements, Nazi bank. Anyway, it was the first time ever that the private Fed was able to be audited. Well, what they found in terms of money laundering and all of this, and I mean, it's unbelievable. So that's the other thing. People are nervous because now the media is like, oh, the economy is going to crash, this and that. It doesn't matter what.
But that's good. That's good, everyone. Like,
I know.
rejoice, rejoice.
Totally. Yeah, because we've been debt slaves all this time. People don't know that there's another side. That's why it's like when they take us down or whatever, it's like we're spreading not just information, but like hope for a better tomorrow. And that's what we have to keep our eyes on, because after we get over this hurdle, God, everyone has a chance to be
Yes.
their best self. Like we were talking this morning, I was on Charlie's Q&A, and there was a question, and we were talking about people, the fear and everything, and we were talking about what can you do right now, and I said, go inside yourself, look at your life, take a minute, realize that there are good things ahead, better than you can imagine, and make yourself the best you right now. Concentrate on you. If you want to go back to the gym, get out of the house, take some, whatever you want to do, take some online classes, whatever it is, prepare yourself for your best life ahead. Because then when A and B come, you'll be ready, and you'll be so far ahead, and you can actually, people that gave up their dreams, I followed mine, and it was very hard, and we can do a whole thing on Hollywood someday.
Yes,
But I'll tell you right now, so many people are going to have the opportunity to do what they love and make a business of it, or do what they love and still have a job. But there's going to be it's going to be so much better. So I say prepare yourself right now.
Yes.
With self-care,
oh my gosh, Mel.
with getting back in touch with like-minded people, going outside, going back to the gym if you've been locked up in your home, just to get out there, get your hair done, your nails, whatever it is that makes you feel good, do it. Because be ready, be the best you can be ahead, and start today. And then you won't really think about what's happening. You'll be able to watch it at peace.
Yep.
Because you're going to be taking care of you. And that's really the message right now is, there's plenty going on. We're not supposed to see it, but you and I, even in this conversation, are seeing the dots, seeing that this is this can't happen. It can't. So, but for normal people that aren't really doing the work that we are, it's starting to dawn, but we're ahead of it. So anyone that's watching you or watches me or whatever, my advice is right now's the time to be the best you. Because when the best you meets with the best future that's going to come, sky's the limit.
I just am so grateful and so happy that you said it. And it's so important. I'm so happy you said it, because I repeat this a lot also on Instagram. I say, guys, it's with a one click and you will wake up and it's March, and in March we will have a completely different reality, and then it will be gold standard, and April is coming, and May, and then you turn around and it's new life. So I everything you said, I'm so happy you said it, because this is the time to really, even if those who have some money and they can afford some gold or silver, this is the time to buy, and this is the time to envision your life after, because you will wake up one day and you are already in that reality, and you will be, oh my gosh, I wish I have done this, I wish I have done that. It all will be good, but you can make it even more extra special.
Right now, take the 40,000 foot view of you and your life and what you would change, and start, and start bettering everything that you can, that you have control over, because that's all we have right now is control over who we are. But if you do it now and you get ready, and who you are when that comes, wow. I mean, really, sky's the limit, best life ahead, and best is yet to come. And God already won, and he's going to continue to win. And someday soon, we will all it will be the opposite of what we felt this week. It'll be like, we will truly be the news now, because we've been out there guiding who we can, but there's so much more work to do. So I just want to keep being only around like people like you and the ones that really are doing it from the heart, because it's an energy, and we got to keep the energy up, moving forward. Don't let it get us down. That's the goal. And just if they knock us off, get back up, because they're in a very short time. All of this will pay off, and then we can take it to the next level. Then we can spread other things that are, make people's lives better and improve people's, experience on this planet that has been really, really stolen from them. So no, I'm 100% on the same page as you. And I'm so grateful to be on, because I can tell you, I can feel your heart and your energy and how awesome you are across this.
I have to tell you that on behalf of everyone who really loves you on my channel and who appreciates you, I just want to say big thank you to you. And
Thank you.
whatever I can do to support you, whatever you think I can.
We just keep doing shows and putting out information, and meet up again next week, and really, just keep spreading the word that the best is yet to come, and that you should be the best you can be for when the best comes, because it's coming. And I love that, and I love that we're on the same page intellectually, spiritually, in every way. And I keep telling Charlie he's got to take us all on a cruise when everything switches over, so that we can all hang out and like have a hug fest.
I said this a while back to him. I said, Charlie, you have to create like a summit, like an annual summit,
Right,
something,
right.
and everyone will come, and it's like in this like nice chateau.
Right, I know. I told him, I'm like, I don't know what you're gonna do, but you got to bring like the whole gang together, all like 20 of us, and just let us have like our love fest. It's been such an amazing group of people that have congregated around him, and I feel so blessed. And you and I are going to do this. We can do this once a week or whenever you feel like it. You let me know, because we're on the same page.
I would love to,
and
because
when there's two people together, there's also God. So we go forward. Be you, and the message is good, And also, I started a new because I got knocked off Twitter and stuff, so I wanted you to know, and if any of your viewers want to know,
please do, where people can find you, everything.
I finally started I had to start a website because I like to talk a lot, and Twitter won't let me. So it's themelkshow.com. And I'm on BitChute, the Mel K Show.
Okay.
And though I get kicked, my whole first year of research has been removed from YouTube, but the Mel K Show is still up there with some cool stuff in the playlist, and the Mel K group on Telegram, because you know what? They can keep trying to stop us.
Mel, we have to say this because sometimes people don't know how to find. When you go on the Jasara Club, Mel is there too.
Yeah, it's Mel K. It's Mel K, I believe, live, and that should take you right to BitChute. I gotta go fix that, because I have a lot of new links after I got kicked off at Twitter, and then this, because I'm not on Instagram, which maybe I should be, but let's see if it sticks around after the. I agree with you that the white hats are the ones that are.
Yeah, I mean, because that will make sense, the level of intensity of it.
Right.
Mel, you are on YouTube. You are on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube at the Mel K Show, but most of my videos are taken down. But there's a bunch of good ones hidden in the playlist from my old. I used to do real deep dive digs into like, the Gates Foundation, the UN, all of that. So those are there. Some of them are there, but now I'm primarily on BitChute because they're not going to censor us.
Okay. So I'm going to attach everything below. And you know what? I think if you don't mind to talk with me, maybe in the very near.
What do you mean mind? Anytime. You're a pleasure. The more we're together, the better it is, in my opinion. So you just send me what works, and we'll reconvene, and we'll keep soldiering on for the good cause. God, country.
Love to you. Love to you.
Love you. Thank you so much. You're such a pleasure and such a brilliant woman. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mel.